much, Susanna Gartner, joining us from Canada at this point of time. It's again a wonderful possibility for our RESO platform and for our audience also to have experts and people who have deeper knowledge in different domains and subjects, people like you. So it's a possibility and opportunity for RESO platform to have you. Thank you so much once again. We are going to cover a wonderful topic today, which is certainly an outstanding topic and a topic we've been sort of focusing for. We've been focusing for the very first time. It's like, are animals the forgotten citizens of our society? Question mark. Certainly a very important GD LLM ADR, a passionate animal advocate, activist, speaker, and author of the book A Voice for Animals, and a retired animal rights lawyer affiliated with Unchained TV, holds academic credentials from York University, Toronto, Canada. So this is just a brief lecture about you. You're much more than that. Your research, your activities, your empirical practices have deeper coverage. So thank you so much, ma'am, once again joining. Would like to move on to my first question, which is certainly a very important question. Says, do you believe animals deserve the same legal protection as
Much for having me. I'm very excited to join you and to discuss a topic that I'm extremely passionate about. And your first question is very interesting. And I had to think back a little bit about it because I do believe that animals deserve strong legal protections, though they may not be the same as humans because there are differences such as humans vote, humans own property. That being said, the recognition of animals as sentient beings is been researched through scientific studies, and it is clear that animals are living, breathing, emotionally complex beings that deserve protection under the law.
very important to know about your perceptions, what you think about that? And as you said, like they certainly they deserve the same legal protection as human beings. Very important. We must think on this line as a global human society to make animals more compatible with us. So, would like to move on to my second question. One question says, is using animals for entertainment ever justified?
No, I don't believe it is ever justifiable. And it ties into your first question, actually, in the sense that to continue into the first question and into this one, animals, again, as I said in the start, are living, breathing beings. Their sentience has been recognized. And so using them as objects and as commodities for entertainment also creates another problem in our view as humans of animals being used for our entertainment, as opposed to recognizing them as living sentient beings that deserve protection. And I would also go further to say that that's the root of the problem of mistreatment of animals when they are viewed as used, quote unquote, disposable items for the benefit of humans for entertainment. As an example, there is a case of an elephant in Canada. Her name is Lucy, the elephant, and she has been housed in Edmonton Zoo for the last 50 years. She was removed from her natural habitat and brought into a cold climate. And for over 50 years now, she's been deprived of companionship and space. And many animal activists, such as myself and others, have tried to move Lucy to a sanctuary where she can be comfortable and not used for public entertainment. So, in my opinion, that's not conservation, and it goes to the root of the problem of animals being used for entertainment. So, to make the story short, it's a sad case. However, it does raise a lot of ethical questions about animals being used for entertainment. And, thankfully, the momentum now is moving. You see more and more people caring and recognizing animals as living, breathing beings. And so, yes, so just to wrap it up, no, animals are not objects and should not be used for entertainment.
It's not very clear notion. They're not entertainment purposes. Like it's not justifiable at all. So, would like to move on to my third question. Important question says, should schools include animals' rights education in their?
And I love this question. It's such an important question, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. Absolutely. Children are our future, and teaching children about animals and animal rights in the school curriculum, I believe, would help tremendously to create a more compassionate, ethical society so that they can understand our moral obligations as humans to animals, and also to have one-on-one contact with them, taking them on excursions to sanctuaries, to animal shelters, to learn and to interact with animals can help them. Definitely. There are programs actually. For example, I was researching this question, and it was very, very exciting to see that there are sanctuaries, such as in America, a sanctuary called Farm Sanctuary. They have education programs and tours to their sanctuary where children can interact and develop empathy. So I believe that that's an absolute must, and it should be included in the curriculum.
Thanks a lot giving your perception, I mean, your suggestions on this important question. And certainly, I agree with you. It's very important to have children because they are our future generation globally talking about, and it's important to use their rights, animals' rights in their educational curriculum because that's gonna make a better society, compatible society for them as well. So, would like to move on to
Yeah.
my fourth question. One question says, "How do cultural norms shape our treatment of animals?"
Cultural norms strongly shape our views of how animals are treated in society and the different species, how they're viewed. So, for example, as you know, in India, at least from what I've learned and read, cows are considered sacred. And in North America, on the other hand, unfortunately, cows are viewed as commodities and food without much respect or recognition, even as animals. There are parts in the world that have cats and dogs that are used for meat, and then in other parts they are viewed as their beloved for family members. So our beliefs are shaped by our upbringings, and our views can evolve as we learn more. So absolutely, cultural norms do shape the treatment of animals. But that can be changed, of course. And as the global world becomes more united, and I always go back to sentience, right? Recognizing animals as sentient changes that view so that we can view all animals as living beings that deserve protection.
Yeah, thank you so much for responding. Important question, shape our treatment of animals. Now, would like to move on to my fifth question, which is a final and rapid question. So it's again important question says, "What's one small change you have made to support animal welfare?"
I believe the small change that I made was the establishment of the first animal rights practice in Canada. It may have even been in North America, as there was no full service practice before I had started. And the reason that I think that's a small change that made an impact was because the representation of animals by a lawyer and their interests and their rights elevates their status in society. And when I worked as an animal lawyer, I witnessed how deeply clients cared about their animals, their companion animals, and they wanted stronger legal protection. And then when I retired 5 years ago, I was very happy and pleased to see that some of my students and other lawyers had established animal rights practices, which again is, I believe, a small change in the evolution of animal rights and their establishment of protection under the laws. So I was pleased about that. And I think that's a good small change. I helped clients as well to preserve their relationships in divorce cases, for example. So we were able to also establish some good rapport, and that was a positive change that I made. And my book, of course, A Voice for Animals, in which I dedicate, an entire chapter on animals' interests and what I think needs to happen. So anyone that's interested in learning tools on advocacy, how to get involved, I built a resource section at the back of my book. So all over the world, whatever area sparks your interest is something that I think is really positive, and it's a small change.
Yeah, thanks a lot, joining ma'am from Canada. And it was a wonderful topic like, are animals the forgotten citizens of society? Believing animals deserves. You talked about legal protections as human beings and using animals for entertainment. Is it justifiable? Should schools include in their curriculums. Very important. How do cultural norms shape their treatments, animal rights, and the small changes that you've made for the welfare. These important topics and areas you've talked about, and it's important and really an awesome stuff for our audience and for RESO platform to have you. And I was also going through your website today. It says like a quotation by you. I don't remember, unfortunately, that, but that certainly portrayed a very heart of yours and dedication about animal and about this subject, not as academic or research subject, but as like, there's a heart acting on animals standing for their rights. And the history also talks about that. You spend a lot of time doing that with dedication and commitment. Thanks a lot. Touching that such an important subject, such an important service that you've been into. So it's a possibility, and for us, it's a blessing to have people like you with a tremendous and positive aura. For your kind of information, you're already familiar that RESO is a platform where we try to step through the noise to cause you most relevant and reliable scientific, sociological interpretations on various societal topics which matter today. And that's the reason you're on board. And we've been conducting international and national interviews on different topics such as climate change, human rights, animal rights, women, gender, different specific things different topics we cover. And that's the reason you're on board today. So once again, ma'am, thank you so much joining us from Canada.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And